Welcome to Remelations. We're your hosts. I'm Mindy.
And I'm Brooke.
Remelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams. From nightmares to the just plain bizarre, join us as we give you our comedic interpretation of your fucked up REM cycle.
This week we have a dream from David about going to prison, bashing your head against the wall, and dream warnings.
We also have catnaps that have to do with Ted Bundy, evil world dictators, and boobs. I'm just gonna say it. And boobs. And omelets. Omelets and boobs.
Omelets and boobs. How can you go wrong?
We're also talking about the terrifying train derailment in Chicago O'Hare. So you want to stay tuned for that. But here we go, Bestie. Let's get this show started.
Woo!
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. It doesn't matter. Hello.
Hi.
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 Hi. Hello. Hello, Bestie. How are you?
Oh, I love you. I'm good. How are you?
Great. It's finally warm out. It is.
I know.
I'll take it. It's lovely. The windows are open in the house. Like, oh, it's great. I love spring. Spring's my favorite season.
Spring and fall, where it's not too hot, not too cold, and
Yep.
fall, you're just starting to get the smell of those burning leaves and ooh, doggy.
Spring,
just
you
not
got
summer
like
or
all the
winter.
grass cutting.
Yeah, it's good. I don't do yard work. That's why I
good.
rent or have a condo.
That's right. It's way less work, that's for sure. I know. We started planting our tomato plants inside, like the seeds, so they're getting ready to transplant. I will give you an update next week on how the tomatoes are.
Please.
It's begun.
It's begun. The tomatoes have begun.
Nothing like a fresh tomato out of the garden, though, I will say. Delicious.
I asked my dad this year because, he got rid of his garden a few years ago because it was just too much to keep up. But, I mean, he grew everything. We had beans, we had carrots, we had all kinds of broccoli, fresh veggies all the time. But I always liked my cherry or grape tomatoes the best. And that's the one thing he's going to keep planting.
Aw.
I'm so excited. So he's going to keep making them for me. I was going to say making those tomatoes.
Making them.
Planting those tomatoes.
God?
Excellent. Your tomatoes.
On the 8th day, God created cherry tomatoes.
And put them in a Walmart bag to give home, to have your daughter bring home.
It works.
Yes, that's the true history. That's how it works.
It is. Well, it's a fun day to record. It's beautiful, and I think we got some beautiful dreams to share today.
I have a dream today, and I'm curious to see what you think about it, because I kind of have a very strong feeling what I think it entails, but I'm just curious to see if you pick up on anything that could be different. So that happens.
Okay.
This is David, and he's from Birmingham.
Okay.
I all of a sudden am handcuffed and going to jail. Did I say
I like handcuffed better.
All of a sudden I handcuffed.
I like ham. I would mind being handcuffed.
Can I tell you something a little? Sorry, David.
we got like 3 seconds in, but please go ahead.
I know. So
sidebar.
My Easter, we had ham, and I brought 2 not little servings, but like 1 piece home that I would put in the freezer, and then 1 piece that I would like cut up for sandwiches. I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and I was like,
I'm having that ham.
And I took a bite out of that piece of ham like a shark on a whale carcass. It was just like, oh.
So you handcuffed yourself to the refrigerator that night for a midnight snack.
I handcuffed myself for that delicious leftover Easter snack.
Well,
Totally
I'll tell
worth
you, you're not the only one with a ham story. So for Easter, it's the one time.
You're not the only one with a ham story.
Right. I don't know if that's ever been said before, but
I don't think so either. I'm
for
like,
Easter,
that's a sentence.
One holiday a year is ham holiday because Mark insists turkey's for Thanksgiving, is for Easter. I go out the night before just because, again, chaos from Easter and plans. I could not find a damn ham in this town for the life of me.
Ham?
I went to Meijer. A damn ham. I went to Meijer. I went to Walmart. I went to Jewel. I found a butt of a ham. It wasn't even like spiral cut or glazed. It was just like the tiniest little butt of a ham for like way overpriced. But I was like, God damn it, I have to have ham on Easter.
I gotta get the butt.
And it was not good. And so my ham craving has not been satisfied. So I might have to handcuff myself to your fridge too.
I have the stuff in the freezer still, Mindy. You can have the ham.
So be there. I'll be there in 3 hours.
You can have the freezer ham.
I'd take it.
I'll start defrosting it now. Or you could have a bite out of the one that's in my refrigerator because I didn't finish it. I just took like 2
I don't mind your germs. I'll eat it.
Yeah, it's good. And it was really good. Sorry. David.
So David was not handcuffed, but he was handcuffed.
And going to jail. Yes, this is the first sentence of the dream still. I am aware that I have just been convicted of murder and I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. I'm aware that I'm never getting out. So the next thing I know, I'm in the prison, which is underground. It's dark and there are a bunch of cells.
Of course it is. Let's make it worse than what it already is. Let's put it underground.
Make it worse. Yes. And cold. It says, it's pretty cold. I start feeling really uncomfortable. Sounds delightful. If you could tell us the name of this location, I'd like to plan a trip right now.
Take the tour.
Are they on Airbnb, Verbo, maybe? I don't know.
You just got to commit a crime. You just got to steal some ham, Brooke. You'll be right there.
I just steal some ham and I'm
David.
going to this underground cold prison for life. Let me preface this because I've read the dream. He's still dreaming when he says waking up.
Okay.
I remember waking up the next day and feeling really ill, like I had the flu. I told the other inmates, and they told me they've been feeling like that since they got here. They said the air that gets pumped into the prison makes all the inmates feel like the flu. Terrible. Terrible. I don't.
Okay. I'm curious when this dream is. Is this like a COVID dream? Because it seems like it could be a COVID dream to me.
Oh, the pumping the air in? I don't know when this dream was.
Like the sickness. I'm curious. David, let us know. Okay.
I lost track of how long I was in this prison, feeling sick, cold, desperate, and generally awful. I mean, okay, it's bad enough to go to prison, but then the conditions, we all know there's not great prisons out there. And he could be anywhere he's from Birmingham, but his prison in his mind could be anywhere in the world. And you know those conditions aren't great. But anyway, I remember trying to smash my head against a wall to end it all, but that didn't work. I remember walking around aimlessly, talking to other inmates, going to other sections of the prison, trying to trade things, going to the prison doctor's office, trying
I got
to
this ham.
He's like, I got this ham.
Can you give me a shiv for a ham?
Can you
I would trade
out?
that. I'll take some smokes for a ham.
I'll shiv you off a couple slices of the ham as long as you give me the shiv after.
Sounds like a good deal.
It does. Sorry. So he's just thinking about going to sleep every night and then just being sick and miserable the entire time. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
And then I woke up. Oh, okay. But there's a little side note here.
Yeah, I always love the extras. Okay.
Here's the extra. The craziest thing about it all might be that as soon as I woke up, I knew that this dream was a warning. I don't know how, I just knew that the prison in the dream was my own personal hell that my mind designed for me to live in when I deserve to or have to for whatever reason. I know I need to become a better, kinder, and more compassionate person.
Oh,
Holy shit, David. I mean,
well,
at least he's aware, right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay, so I don't even know where to begin. The reason I mentioned earlier, like, what you think of it, because I think it's kind of pretty cut and dry. But let's start with going to jail. This can't be an exciting experience for anyone. I mean, you approach this huge, or prison, I should say prison, this huge building.
Wait, what is the difference between jail and prison? Is there? Do you know?
Yeah, prisons, once you've actually been convicted
of the
crime, is where you go. unfortunately, you can stay in jail for years, years until you have a trial or whatnot. So,
that's where okay. So he must have done something bad.
Maybe. Well, he did.
We don't know what
murder. He did say it was for murder.
That ranks up there.
But he seems like he's just like, yeah, I know I got arrested. I'm putting handcuffs and I'm going to jail. But he never mentions if he was guilty or not. That I thought was interesting because some people in dreams will be like, I'm being taken away to jail and I didn't do anything. Sure. But he's just like, he doesn't really mention one way or another. But I don't think that makes a difference to him in this particular dream. I think he just holds on to some kind of guilt about something no matter what. I mean, cold, dark, underground.
I mean,
and in prison. It's trapped in so many ways.
It is. And I think it's also the worst thing that can happen to you. Well, one of the worst things that can happen to you is being sent somewhere. I agree with you. It's kind of cut and dry, this dream. And what is that? What is he dealing with? Like, what does he feel like he's guilty of is my question.
Right. And like the whole trying to kill himself, by smashing his head into a wall.
Sad.
All of this punishment, like I said, I think there's this guilt. Maybe there are some brain health issues, definitely confidence issues, I think, certainly anxiety. And it seems like maybe David has a little bit of depression too. And like he said, it's his own personal hell. And it certainly sounds that way. But he kind of mentioned it. Maybe he's struggling with something in real life that he feels is making him, because he kind of said, when I deserve to be in that hellish place, even if only in a dream. I know, it's sad.
The dream's supposed to be the one place you can escape, not where you should feel imprisoned, right? You can swim with dolphins in your dream. David, I would just try to manifest something different before you go to sleep, like rainbows and ponies, or just like eating a big ham or anything, right?
Eating a big ham.
Like the best Last Supper you've ever had. Oh, there's a question. So, okay. Final meal, prison.
Oh,
what are you choosing as your on death row?
Shit. Oh, there's so many things. But you can ask for a few things, right?
Sure. I mean, didn't John Wayne Gacy wanted the
KFC,
fried chicken?
Yeah, I'll take some KFC. I'll take a stuffed crust pizza and some scallops.
Pizza. Oh, okay. And who cares? It doesn't matter how it settles with your stomach, because after that, it doesn't matter. Not like you're going to puke later.
You might shit yourself when you actually die, but that happens anyway.
That definitely happens.
Enjoy that KFC. What would you make? Or what would you eat?
I mean, I wouldn't make it. Yeah, I got my little stove.
You got your easy bake oven.
I walk out.
Your hot plate.
Yeah, you got to trade a lot of smokes for that hot plate. I would go like steak. And ribs. And then
because you're a meat eater.
Vegetables. I love, and like some really good mashed potatoes.
Ooh,
and some
party
rolls.
potatoes.
Throw some rolls on there.
Yeah, throw some corn casserole and some party potatoes into mine now too. Oh, and some fruit pizza. We gotta have a dessert.
Okay, I'm going apple pie. Apple pie, 100% with a la mode.
Let's get. Oh, okay. Do you put a piece of cheese on that thing?
Hell no. Why would you put cheese on apple pie?
It's a thing. I knew you wouldn't be the person that did it, but yes, look it up.
I've never heard this. People put cheese on apple pie?
Since apple pie existed, pretty much.
That's disgusting.
You are looking at me like you are a crazy fucking bitch. You're joking me. I'm not. Look it up. Take a minute.
Like American cheese? Like what kind of cheese goes with pie?
I think it's like a cheddar or American. Yeah.
No. I'm vetoing that idea. I mean, I believe you, but not for me personally.
I know you do.
I'm not asking for cheese on my pie.
You really don't look like you believe.
Whipped cream, a drizzle of caramel, and hold the cheese.
Yeah, I've never had it with cheese, but I know it exists.
Those people are insane.
That's usually not how much cheese. It's usually just a little bit of cheese.
Okay, Brooke's holding up a picture of this to my camera right
Apple
now.
pie.
It looks like you'd expect it to look. Disgusting. David, let us know what you'd choose as your last meal in your dream. Is it cheese fruit pie?
Cheese pie?
Or is it ham?
Or KFC? But okay, so just to finalize, what I really think it boils down to, and I think we both are on the same page, I think it's a very literal dream. And self-awareness, he even said this dream was a warning, in needing to reflect on his life and how he treats others and himself. So maybe he'll make these changes and his mind will finally set him free from that prison he created. I don't know.
Very good.
Good luck,
very
David.
Good. No, I agree. Because it could either, you're right, it could either be, or he's right, it could either be a personal prison or how he treats himself or how he treats others. I think that's the most insightful part of what he said. How, who is it that he's mistreating?
Right.
My dog's
I
barking.
agree.
Hold on. Kingston's having a conniption.
Did someone just show up?
I don't think so, but someone's cutting their grass, so I think it's... Hey, Bestie, you enjoying the show? Why don't you tell the whole world by ordering some merch? Yeah, we've got some merch that maybe you guys would like to have. They're pretty cool. We got sweatshirts, t-shirts, stickers, dream journals. You can find all of that at remelations.com/store. I personally love my Sweet Dreams Bitches shirt.
Okay, I love
Is it
that
weird to
shirt.
wear your own merch? I don't know.
It's comfy, and I
like
like
it.
that. And then I like that. And then I woke up one too. Like, we got some great merch, Bestie. Check it out.
All right, Brooke, I've got some catnaps. And actually, this catnap goes really well with your dream that you just shared.
Really?
So crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. So
we always have some way of connecting somehow each episode.
I know. And this is weird. All right. So I have this dream here from Kim, and she's from Tulsa.
Sorry. Did you hear that?
Oh,
That
yeah.
was spooky. Okay, calm down. He's become so vocal lately.
Mama's busy.
Lay down, please.
All right. This dream comes from Kim, and she's from Tulsa. Last night I had a dream Ted Bundy was never executed via the electric chair.
Oh.
Told you. This was crazy.
So weird.
Also
weird.
bad. Also bad, because
Also bad.
yikes.
Also
Yeah.
bad.
Also bad. He was released from prison in his old age.
Oh, no.
He wanted to continue his serial antics, but was ready to take it a little slower.
Those crazy antics of his. He was
Oh,
just
yeah.
a
It's just...
scoundrel, those antics. Smashing someone's head in with a log. He's crazy. He's crazy.
He planned to cause as much death and destruction as possible with minimal effort when he was old. So, he infected himself with the coronavirus. His first act of bioterrorism was sneaking into an assisted living facility in Seattle and kissing the patients to spread the disease.
Gross.
Rude.
Rude.
Ted, rude. I know you think you're hot, but you just can't just go kissing old people.
Best. The best
At
part
best.
of you was when Zac Efron played you.
Oh, agreed.
Oh, I love Zac Efron. Oh, but Ted Bundy. Mm-mm.
After the first death was confirmed, he took a cross-country trip visiting heavily populated cities to cough on as many people as possible. He visited airports and bus
Or kiss them.
stations. He went to the harbors to infect boarding cruise passengers. After a few weeks, he decided to lay low and watch the chaos unfold. He was filling with glee and the death toll rose past his expectations. Then, out of nowhere, he got a brilliant idea. While everyone was panicking to purchase toilet paper and bottled water, he was going to infect the American toilet paper and water plants.
Oh, wow.
Could you imagine infecting toilet paper?
He was a smart dude. But he was a smart dude. Hey, and there was that Tylenol killer.
Never caught. Never caught.
No, and like stuff you need every day. And I'm one of them. I am down to 2 rolls of toilet paper, one for each bathroom I have, and it's becoming an emergency situation.
It was funny. During the pandemic, when there was like that toilet paper shortage, we have a family of 8. We bulk buy toilet paper anyways. I'm like, we're good. We've got at least 600 rolls upstairs in the closet.
Well, I should have brought some home from your house. I do my pantry shopping when I go to Mindy's house. I go in the garage, I get some toilet paper, some V8, a bottle of water. I'm set.
So Kim says, after a few months had passed, he laid on his deathbed, unable to recover from the coronavirus. The American economy was on the brink of collapse, and the population had dwindled to only 100,000. He accepted death with a brilliant smile, and Ted Bundy had fulfilled his dream of causing uncontrollable chaos on a global scale.
You know that TB, he's trouble. He is just trouble.
Now we know what happened, why there was even anything to begin with. But this is definitely, Kim, thanks for saying that. And she did note in her message, this was something she had during the pandemic, during the shutdown, where everyone was having insane dreams.
Obviously,
and
yes.
I wonder if she's a true crime fan, because she's just like pulling all the chaos from the universe, like Ted Bundy in with the coronavirus.
She's got to know at least a little something about true crime, because not everybody these days, because this was, in what are we at, 20?
Heyday of the
30,
70s?
Like 40 years ago, like 40 plus years
old,
ago. Brooke. No, you're a beautiful angel. But 40 plus years ago, true crime buffs still talk about Ted Bundy, but it's not so much in the lexicon or the vernacular of, a normal person. So she obviously has to have some true crime knowledge, right? Yeah.
Right.
He was a tricky one, that one.
Thanks, Kim.
This is Jacques, and he's from East Hampton.
Okay. Hi, Jacques.
Hi. Bonjour, maybe? I don't know. Bonjour, Jacques. Peut-être.
What's up?
What's up, she says. Okay, so in this dream, I was sitting on the couch watching an episode of Bob's Burgers. Suddenly, I get an urge to piss. I think to myself, okay, let me stop. Let me backtrack. I just wanted to say that we had just kind of talked about the feeling of having to pee in a dream and whether you wake up to do it or not. So I thought this one was really funny. So I get the urge to piss, he says. I think to myself, should I piss or should I wait? Being the lazy fuck that I am, I chose to wait. Several episodes.
You just gotta go.
You just gotta go. Several episodes of Bob's Burgers were viewed until I got the urge again to piss. I love how he keeps saying piss, too, not pee. Right. I don't know what the word piss
I gotta
is,
go
but like, I gotta go pee-pee. Gotta go potsy. So there I am, holding my piss, not knowing if I have to pee in my dream or in my real life. I get up in my dream, finally, with my bladder ready to explode. I muster enough energy to take a massive leak. I usually wake up at this point, though I didn't. Now hungry, I stroll to the fridge. I open its magnificent
doors. Get some ham?
I wish it were ham. Wait do you hear what's in this fridge? With my eyes glittering, my face smiling as I encounter its glorious cold, only to be encountered by a miniature Vladimir Putin and uncountable bottles of vodka. One of those things is okay. I'll take the vodka.
Right. I'll take the vodka. Leave
Putin can stay
in the
behind.
Fridge.
He can stay behind.
Get freeze to death.
So Putin yells something in Russian that I don't understand. Pissed off, he jumps out of the fridge and starts shoving bottles of vodka up my ass.
What? Is this a miniature Putin? Because, like, how is he fit in the fridge in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things that, like, drop into water and they expand. So when he comes out.
Oh, yeah, like a shrinky dink. The opposite of a
shrinky dink or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, the bottles of vodka up poor Jacques' ass doesn't sound great. So, he jumps out of the fridge and starts shoving bottles of vodka up my ass. Then I woke up. Ooh, that's unfortunate. But let me say, of course, I always have a little bit more. Then I woke up covered in piss. Obviously, he didn't make it. Laughing, confused, and questioning my sexuality and maturity. Good job, Jacques.
Absolutely.
That was great.
Absolutely. And his stance on world politics.
I mean, love it.
Well, you're not going to believe this. I'm 2 for 2. I've got another world leader dream.
Shut.
Well, leader in quotes, like evil leader. But here we go. Okay, you ready?
But still, okay.
Weird. We are we're synced. We're synced tonight.
We're synced. We're simpatico.
All right, this dream I have is from Don, and Don is from Shreveport. Okay. I had a dream this morning where I was on a public transportation bus and looking for a place to sit. There was one empty seat, but it was next to Kim Jun Un.
Are you serious? We've got Putin.
No,
this is so
two of the
bananas.
worst world leaders. It is bananas. What's going on,
random.
people?
What's going on? Okay.
So Kim Jong-un. I guess everyone in the United States was afraid to sit next to Kim Jong-un on a public transportation bus, so I decided to be nice and take the seat next to him. That is very nice. It is an awful idea, though.
It's a bad idea, and I have a feeling Kim Jong-un would not have any part of public transportation.
Of course not.
Nor being in the United States. Is that where this takes place? I can't remember.
Yep, sounds like it. Okay. Yep. Sitting next to a real-life dictator in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I decided to strike up a conversation with him in English. I don't know Korean, not even in my dreams.
That sucks.
He was able to speak to me in pretty much perfect grammar except for a few omitted particles. Don, are you an English teacher? We seemed to have a friendly chat for a while.
Is it participles?
I don't particles? Maybe he's not an English teacher then.
Maybe not.
Let's say
participles.
So he replied in perfect English, and we decided to have a friendly chat for a while. I guess I let my guard down too much because he totally betrayed my trust. Shocker.
Oh, well, shocker there.
Trust a dictator.
My God.
He suddenly started to put his hand over my mouth to smother me to death. After a few seconds of struggling, I managed to gain control and bash his head in to the railing of the bus seats a few times until he was bleeding and unconscious. Wow. This was totally in self-defense. I don't know whether I killed him in my dream.
Fingers crossed.
And I don't know whether I killed him in my dream. But then I woke up. What is with the dictator theme tonight? I'm not liking it. I'm not enjoying this very much.
No, it's not great, but like we've got...
Let's talk about like evil people of the world. No.
Let's talk about good people like you and me.
We should run for... No, we shouldn't run for politics.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to run for office. This is what we do, Mindy.
My feelings would get hurt too easily, and I couldn't deal with people. But thank you, Don. I'm glad you took care of that situation.
Thank you.
On behalf of all Americans, thank you for self-defending.
Well, and maybe hashtag.
No, Brooke Jennifer, no. We are not hashtagging world dictators.
Oh no, she called me by my name. I can't. I feel so in trouble.
It'll hit. We're not there yet. Don't worry. We'll find something.
Okay.
I've
got another cat nap.
Great. Hopefully, please say it's not about a world dictator.
It's not. This is Erica, and she's from NYC. So
hello.
Last night, I dreamed I was being kidnapped. 2 bad guys were holding my arms to drag me away. I was fighting them off, but they were overpowering me. I had lost hope until my Krav Maga instructor showed up. Hell yeah. Get your Krav Maga instructor there.
What is... Wait, time out. What is that?
Krav Maga is a fighting style, and it's badass, and it's usually
nice
learned when you are in the Israeli army.
But we are all over the world tonight.
I mean, we're traveling around. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little description. It's a self-defense technique that uses the most robust and effective methods of striking with the hands, feet, head, and other body parts. It is an Israeli martial art developed for the Israeli Defense Forces. It's derived from a combination used in Aikido, Judo, Karate, boxing, and wrestling. So it's badass. It is badass.
Yes, so she's badass. Got it.
She's badass, and that she's taking Krav Maga classes. And I've always kind of wanted to learn a little bit about it, but
I would sign up with you in a heartbeat.
Let's do it. Okay.
Totally.
So her Krav Maga, thank God, her instructor shows up. I was gleeful. I was sure he'd save the day like a good hero. At least I was until he tells the soldiers they are kidnapping me wrong. You go behind her for the sleeper hold. Tight. Hand on bicep. And you pick up her legs so she has no leverage. She'll be unconscious in under 10 seconds. Then you can tie her up for transport.
That is not... I would definitely unenroll from this class in a heartbeat.
If she gets away from these kidnappers, do not go back to this Krav Maga instructor.
I wouldn't make that last payment on the classes either. I'd be like,
no,
I'm changing my credit card number. You're not going to charge me.
Credit card number.
Who cancels a check anymore? Have you ever canceled a check?
No. I can't remember the last time I wrote a check. I mean, there's probably one bill a year. I think there's probably like one bill a year that I have to pay with check. So I have I have like 6 checkbooks. I'll probably have them for the rest of my life.
Take you till the day you die.
Yes, because I write about
the only thing I
year.
write checks for, or like the kids' school stuff, like
or deposits
stuff. Like,
or something like that.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. I don't even know if my teenagers would know how to fill out a check.
Oh, I doubt they would. They don't teach that shit anymore.
Oh, no.
Like you said, they don't even teach cursive.
Definitely not check writing or how to do your taxes. All right.
Oh, did you get your taxes done, Mindy?
No, I was working on the podcast today, and I have until Tuesday. I will get done. Get done. It's not fun when you have a small business. Okay. I'm going to go short and sweet on this one. This one comes from John, and John's from Burbank, California.
Love it.
And I'm curious how old John is, but let's read his screen.
Okay.
Today I dreamed I touched a friend's boobs.
I think John is very young. I'm just gonna throw out a guess here that John is very young. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But she told me she had 4 instead of 2.
Ooh, double the pleasure.
It was nice. And then he woke up.
Hey, John.
John.
Sounds
John,
pretty sweet.
I mean, you could be 40, and that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. They are made for fun. And nutritional reasons.
In a very different way. And maybe you had just watched like the original Total Recall where the alien with 3 boobs was there, and every guy who watched that movie at that time knows what I'm talking about. But maybe he just like added another one. Not 3, 4.
Double the fun. Double the fun.
Get it.
Do you think they're all the same size, or is it like too small, too large?
Okay.
Curious.
Well, in Total Recall, they were all the same size, but in my head now,
I would think
I want them to each be a different size and a different shape. Maybe a droopy one, maybe a high and tight one, maybe an A cup, maybe
a 50-year-old boob, a 18-year-old boob.
Let's get them all in there. We're equal opportunity.
And what kind of bra?
Oh, jeez.
Victoria's Secret, you need to You need to get on that. You need to figure that out because
or Kim Kardashian with her Skims. She seems to have figured it out.
Hashtag. I don't think we've done Kim yet. We've done a couple Kardashians.
What does Kim Kardashian dream?
There we go. I think hers would look
Putin
fantastic.
And Kim Jong-il.
No, we're not. We're not doing it. No, we're not doing it for.
I know that was
leaders,
his dad. Kim Jong-il was his dad. Okay, thanks, Kim Kardashian.
Let us know, Kim, and send us some.
Send
samples.
us some. I was just gonna say, send us some samples. Maybe we'll put our sizes in the show notes, and send them some Skims. We'll wear them.
We love it. Thank you. Woohoo!
This next one I have isn't too long either. It's from Leslie from Colorado. The thing that I found funny about it is she titled it The Omlet Dream.
I'm in 100% already.
I knew you would be. The first
throw the
part of
ham
the
in the omelet.
Ham. We've got a ham theme running throughout the night.
Fantastic.
The first part of the dream, I'm flipping an omelet and letting it cook on the stove. Next, I hand it to this random guy. We've got a rando. I have no idea what he's doing with me. I know that this seems silly, but that is basically the dream. But she says, I have this dream in different places, such as a cabin or a survival shelter. She has it all the time. She's always making an omelet, no matter where she is. Omelets.
That's interesting.
I think it's funny. Omelet dream. I want an omelet.
Ah, that sounds so good.
Mindy,
right now.
can you make me a bloody Mindy and an omelet the next time at your house if we're not too hungover to eat breakfast?
Darling. Of course.
It could be lunch.
Yeah, that's usually the problem. It's brunch. Come on over for Mother's Day.
Okay. I have pets.
Then I'll make my kids
Mindy.
make us omelets.
Can your kids make Bloody Marys? I mean, Bloody Mindys as good as you do?
Yes, they can. And judge me all you want. Judge me all you want. My kids know how to make me a Bloody Mary on Mother's Day morning.
Isn't that all you really want? My cousin's kid will make us all our mixed drinks at the holidays.
Nice.
Like, he knows, you just tell him what to.
It's a rite of passage.
It's easy. Yeah, or I can be like, sure. I want a Malibu and pineapple, and he'll come with it. I'm like, here's $1. Good deal.
I remember making my dad like rum and cokes as a kid. He'd always like he's sitting down watching his evening news. He's like, can you get me another rum and coke? And I'm like, sure. And I go and I'm like, I have no idea how much rum goes. Is it 2 parts rum, 1 part coke? Is it half? I have no idea. But as I've gotten older, I've learned as the night goes on, you give dad less rum, more coke. You start off strong, and then you slowly
wean him off.
lessen the rum for dad. Yep, that's exactly it.
My dad always asked me to make him like a whiskey and diet, and I'm like, you have a son that has worked in the bar industry for how many years? I have no idea, because of that and other bartender friends, like, I have no idea how to make a drink ratios. And I'm like, how's this? And he's always like, it's fine. And I'm like, he took a big drink of it. And I'm like, oh, well, do you want to add some more Diet Coke to that? And he's like, I can't find a good balance. I'm not a good bartender. That's why I just get them pre-made.
You sound like the perfect bartender to me. Make them strong.
Get them
hang
strong,
long.
get the tips. Get them strong and hang them long.
Very, very good. Well, thank you for all the catnap submitters. We had a lot of fun reading those today. Thank you.
We did. It was a great time. I know Mindy already talked about great merchandise we have, but there are so many other ways you can support the show. You can become part of our sleepover squad, and that is probably
the best squad.
The best squad all around. You get extra footage, you get videos, you get all kinds of fun stuff. And also word of mouth. Probably one of the best and easiest ways to support us. But if you do want to check out our merch, support us, or go to our sleepover squad, just go to remelations.com/support. And we'd love to have you help us stay around to entertain you because we love you guys so much.
We do.
We do.
Oh my gosh, I got a topic for you. Hold on, let me give myself some space here.
Whoa.
I'm not going to tell you how many pages this is because, Mindy, her research.
God damn. Are we going to be here for another couple hours?
No.
Is it 7 pages or less? Please tell me it's 7 pages or less. Damn you, Mindy!
No.
It's over 7. Are we talking?
But it's really big font. It's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I wanted
11, 12, and front and back. But it's like a small research paper. It's okay. We're good. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so informative and interesting.
Oh,
and it's big font. It's big font.
Is it 14-inch font?
Yes, it is 14-inch font. Of course it is. It's the only way to reach it.
That's why there's 12 pages.
It's 1. The end. Done.
The end. That was Mindy's topic. Oh, it was great. Thank you for sharing.
So, Brooke, you used to live in the Chicago area. Let me ask you this question. Did you ever take the L?
Of course I took the L. Yeah, don't necessarily love the L, but yeah, I took it.
Who does?
Yeah, I used to live like a block from the blue line.
Okay. Now, can you explain for our bestie what the L is?
The L in the
for those who don't know.
Chicagoland area, yeah, is like it's almost what you would consider kind of like a subway. It's a whole system of transportation, and some of the stops are underground, but mostly it's called L because it's elevated. It goes through the city, above buildings, not above buildings, but it goes all over the city of Chicago and partly out into the suburbs.
Right. Okay. So, and I had to look up why it was called the L because it's elevated. It's also known as the CTA, the Chicago Transit Authority. But it was built above ground after like New York and Boston. Those are all underground subways. But Chicago's like, we like doing things different. And it's less expensive and we're cheap. So we're going to build our subway above ground. And that's how we got our transportation system here in Chicago.
Called the L.
Called the L. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little story here.
Oh, boy.
On the early morning of March 24th, 2014, were you still living in Chicago at the time in 2014? Or was it?
Yes.
It was right around when you moved to Iowa. Okay.
I moved in 2016, so yes, I was still there.
So you might remember the story. Okay. At 2:45 a.m., a woman by the name of Nikisha Thomas, she was 22. She was in the third car of the CTA Blue Line train as it pulled out of the Rosemont station.
Okay.
Knowing she'd arrive at the O'Hare stop, the next stop down the line, in about 4 short minutes.
Sure.
Now, for those that may not know the Chicago area here, the O'Hare's are our major airport. Everyone, I'm sure, has heard of it, unless you're international. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. And as the train comes into the station, it kind of goes underground, but there's a place at the airport where the train lets off people headed to the airport. That makes sense.
It's basically the blue line is like a big U, pretty much. Starts at O'Hare, kind of goes downtown, and then back up around to certain. It's a big U, so it's one of the bigger lines.
Yes. As Miss Thomas was waiting for her train to arrive at O'Hare, she was about to start her shift at the Hudson newsstand. Now, we all know the Hudson newsstands at the airports, right?
We all go there. We all have to get some Chex Mix and a book.
Get your book, your magazine. Oh, I love myself a good People magazine before a flight. Yeah, you got to get the water.
I like it during the flight. You're like, yeah, fuck, this is great.
Oh, gotta give me those like Star magazine. That is like a guilty pleasure of mine. Give me like those tabloid magazines. Love it. Into the crossword. Okay. So Miss Thomas was waiting to disembark the train as it pulled into the station, and all of a sudden, according to her, quote, "I heard a big noise. I felt my chest hit the seat in front of me, and then My back hit the seat behind me, and then the lights went out. I got up and I walked out and I hollered. I got scared. I started shaking. I was a nervous wreck.
What? Wait,
so the reality of the situation set in when she saw the first car of the train had not stopped at the end of the tracks, and it had jumped the end of the tracks and was now on top of the platform escalators leading up to the airport terminals.
I don't remember this at all. Do you?
Really? Yes, I remember this.
I thought this was going to be the story of the red line. I think it was the red line that jumped the tracks and ran into a
there's plenty of
a business or something. CTA is not the greatest, I guess.
They don't have the best track record, and we're going to get into that a little bit here.
Okay.
Thomas was one of 50 passengers on board the Blue Line train early that morning. Another passenger was 37-year-old Yolanda Montez. She was a security officer at the airport. She was heading to work as well, and she was on the 6th car of the 8-car train. At the time of the impact, her head struck the middle pole inside her train car and a door, causing injuries to her head and neck.
Oh, no!
23-year-old Delilah Jefferson was a security officer at O'Hare Airport. She was riding the first car when the train jumped the tracks. Delilah was about to get off the train when the first car she was in catapulted forward as the car went up the escalator. She had to be extracted from the car and experienced severe pain and a broken foot as well as neck and back injuries.
Oh my gosh. This is terrible.
These are just 3 of the 33 passengers that were transported to the local hospitals that morning.
Oh my goodness.
Luckily, there were no fatalities during this incident. But let me get into a little bit about what happened that morning and what got us here. And I'm going to send you, Brooke, a picture real quick, and I'm going to have you explain it to our bestie.
Okay.
I just sent you a couple pictures here. If you can take a look at your text and explain to our bestie what you're seeing in these photos.
Holy shit. Okay. Yep. You can certainly see that first car is off the track and on the platform heading up the escalator. Could you imagine being on that? Besides being on the train, could you imagine being on that platform? Okay, so let me look. I know you sent me more than one. Holy shit. Okay, I know I said that for the last one too. But this one...
that's what these pictures will make you say, yeah.
This one literally shows the first train car almost all the way to the top of the escalator. Okay,
scary.
And let's look at...
Awful.
Oh my God. And this one is kind of a view from the top of the escalator. So you see the front of the train, but you also see all the cars behind it. It's all on the platform and on the escalator. Oh, that's terrifying.
Terrifying photos. And I'll post a link in our show notes to all of this. We'll post it in our Facebook group. If you haven't joined, check the show notes or search for Revelations Besties. Yeah. So, and there's also a video. And there's also a video, and I'm going to send this to you as well at the end of this train. Now, luckily, according to Thomas, who we talked about, the first survivor of this, she said, just so everyone knows, this is a really busy part of the airport. Like at peak times during flights taking off, there's like thousands of people going up and down these escalators.
Easily.
Crazy thing at this time is it was 2:40 in the morning, and it's mostly airport employees that were on this train.
Sure.
But it is amazing that no one had died. And according to Thomas, she said, I'm used to seeing someone on that escalator every time of every day. So to know that nobody was on the escalator and no one died, it's a miracle to me.
Thank God it was such early morning accident. But
my God.
Do we know what happened?
Well, then I started clicking and I found the NTSB report. And so for our besties that may not be in the United States, the NTSB is the National Transportation Safety Board. And it's an independent federal agency that is dedicated to the safety of aviation, railroad, highway, marine, and pipelines. So like they kind of take all of the things, mass transport type things, and then make sure it's safe. So whenever there's an accident, the NTSB has to investigate. And I found the report from this, and this is the once again, the rabbit hole that Mindy goes down.
Shit. I'm kind of scared.
So let's talk about the train operator. So again, this accident happened at 2:49 a.m. The train operator was Miss Brittany Hayward. She was 25 years old.
That's young.
Yeah, very young. She started the job in April of 2023. No, 2013.
Nope.
Right? And then she became an operator in 2014. So I was curious about, what kind of training goes into becoming a train operator. You'd think it'd be like a lot of intense training, right? You kind of have everyone's lives in your hand. You're going fast. So to become a train operator, you need 17 days of training.
That's it? 17 days of training?
Well, let me break it down for you. 7 days of classroom training where you're learning about signs, symbols, how the train works, blah, blah, blah. 8 days of field training. 2 days of training on your specific rail car. And you have to pass tests. You have to pass with a score of 100 on signal identification and knowing certain things. So it's not you get a 50% pay. But anyhow. And then you must operate the train for 10 days under supervision. But still, it seems a little light to me.
Personally, this is a lot of responsibility. Chicago's a big city. Everyone uses the L. Oh, boy. Okay.
So this accident happened only 2 months into her being a train operator. Brittany went on duty at 8:40 p.m. on the night of March 23rd, 2014.
Wait, did you say it was her second night?
Second month.
Oh, second month. Okay.
Second month. Yep. Okay.
Oof.
So she starts at 8:40 p.m. the night before the accident. Her route is she has 5 scheduled trips between Logan Square and O'Hare. So the blue line normally goes as much longer, but because it was under construction that year, half of it was closed. It only went from Logan Square to O'Hare. She was in charge of train number 141. There were 10 stations between Logan Square and O'Hare. It's a 10-mile trip. And each leg of the trip would take 25 minutes. So it would take her 25 minutes to get from Logan Square to O'Hare, 25 minutes to get from O'Hare to Logan Square. So each way was 25 minutes. The train she was in charge of was 8 cars. And according to investigations, she felt good at the start of her shift. She was awake. She felt great. This accident happened on her 4th round trip. So it was towards, the middle end of her shift. She says to the NTSB that when she got to the Harlem station on her 4th trip, which is about 10 minutes away from O'Hare.
Sorry, that was
one
stop before. That was one stop before my stop, but on the other end.
Okay.
Sorry, but on the other end of the U.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was at the Harlem station when she turned off the heat because she felt it was too warm in the car and it was making her feel a little drowsy. So this is 10 minutes prior to the accident.
Good thinking.
Yes, excellent. But then she started feeling tired right after that Rosemont stop, which is about 4 or 5 minutes out from O'Hare, the last stop before O'Hare. She said she was feeling tired. She tried staying awake, but sometimes those midnight shifts were difficult. And she said it was most challenging when she worked shifts between 2 and 3 a.m.
Which is exactly this time.
Yeah. She does remember dozing off. She does remember falling asleep. And she does remember that the sound of the safety trip track is what woke her. She only realized it too late, and the train had already collided with a bumping post near the end of the center pocket track. She does remember the car left the tracks. It hit the barrier, the safety posts. It went up the escalator. So it wasn't only the first track that was derailed, but it was also the second car as well.
Oh my God.
So the question is, how does this happen? How does this happen? Because you'd think even if someone did fall asleep that there'd be some safety measures to prevent such a tragedy.
Yeah, like something that could slow the train down or something. I don't know. That's horrific.
Yeah, you think there's double safety, right? Double safety.
Yeah. No.
So let's talk about this station a little bit. So when you get into O'Hare, and by the way, until I moved to Chicago, and probably the first 10 years of living in Chicago, I called it O'Hare Airport, and everyone's like, it is not O'Hare Airport.
You called it O'Hare?
Yes.
Why? Is
And
that
people
you just
make
thought
fun- I don't
that's what it was?
I don't know, O'Hara. Like Scarlett O'Hara? I don't know.
You're cracking. You're killing me.
I'll admit to that. But I know it's O'Hare now.
Thank you. Oh,
Yep.
good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
So how the station works at O'Hare is
O'Hara.
there's 3 train tracks that come into the CTA terminal there. There's 1, 2, and 3. So tracks 1 and 3 were occupied at the time, which caused this train 141, to divert to the center, what they call pocket track. It's the center track. And there's actually interlocking switches that make it happen. The train correctly went into the middle track. This particular track was designed in 1980. Holla, the year we were born. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't celebrate it. But
are we saying we're old and worn out and we're going to cause train accidents?
Travesties.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was originally designed, they designed it with a safety feature that an 8-car track could strike the buffer. So there's like we're going to talk about in a short little bit here. There's a buffer at 15 miles an hour and be fine. Unfortunately.
How fast was she going?
The NTSB investigators contact one of these former project managers of the 80s, and he recalled that the middle center track, there was not enough room to add the extra energy friction shoes on the track, and so instead they just tightened the fasteners, like, tighter.
What? Like a cheap
Like, there's not enough room for the safety, but we'll just tighten everything just a little extra, is what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that might have been a mistake.
Yeah, probably.
Now, here's something I learned. CTA trains have cap speeds that are fixed at 0, 15, 25, 35, and 55 miles an hour. So there's certain parts of the track that are
55? Wow.
out in the suburbs. Yeah, they go up pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go around the loop like that. But
no.
out here,
That's
yeah,
a
they
little
go
quick.
like Metras. Yeah. So they have
Okay,
certain
got
fixed
it.
speeds. There are things that are supposed to happen when a train exceeds the recommended speed for that area. There's like an audible alarm, and it lets the conductor know that a brake must be applied within 2.5 seconds, or the train will automatically stop.
Okay, so there are safety measures
things.
in place, but that just didn't happen?
What happened here? I think the big issue came between this middle track. Tracks 1 and 3 were what they call a bumping post. The bumping post is like the limit you can have on a track. So the bumping posts on track 1 and 3 were set at 15 miles an hour.
Right.
Track 2 in the middle was set to 25 miles an hour. So it would not have given the train operator any sort of warning unless it went over 25 miles per hour at that point. The train was clocked at 23 miles per hour.
Damn it!
Why was the middle track less than the other 2 tracks? So once it hits those like barriers, there's another thing that happens. It's called a red signal. It requires the operator to stop the train, and if it does not stop the train by the time the red signal flags, it should automatically start stopping it. And what stops it is called a trip.
What went wrong with all these safety features that nothing caught it? Like, I can understand one goes down, but multiple safety features going down? Like, what the fuck, CTA?
Yep. First of all, the posted speed, like the speed bumper was too high. It should have been 15. It was 25. So it didn't trip the first safety feature. The second one, it noticed that the train was going too fast. It did trip the second one, which was the track trip. And so it's what the track trip is. It's positioned at the end of the rail, so it starts applying automatic brakes once the train gets there.
Okay.
That started slowing down the train, but it was just too much momentum for it to slow down at that point.
Too little.
Then there's
too
what's
late.
called a bumping post. And a bumping post is like that shock absorber, if you think about it. If a train hits this, it should absorb some of the momentum of the train.
It's like on some of those freeway exits, like have those big barrels, right? It's just something to absorb it. Yeah.
So it did hit that. It just didn't slow it down enough. And then finally, there's these things called energy fraction shoes that if it hits the bumper, those shoes are set to like add some more resistance. Those are the things they tightened. They didn't have enough space. They just tightened them. So it's just kind of
Oh my God. So this is why it jumped the tracks?
Yes. It just had too much energy, didn't have enough safety time, and jumped the tracks up into the escalator.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if this was rush hour? I'm like freaking out right now. Like
tragic.
2:40 in the morning. Not that many people around, but rush hour, this thing, oh my God, my heart
would have been fatal.
Sinking. Yeah.
So they said that the distance they required with the weight of that train should have been 78 feet, and they had less than 44 to actually stop the momentum of the train, and that's why it...
Like half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. This is horrifying.
So not only was the safety features, that was one thing that the NTSB concluded was the problem, but the other was the fact that the conductor of the train did fall asleep. So how it works with the CTA, and here's the thing, I find that through this platform, maybe we can get some more education out there about if you're sleepy, don't work. Just don't. Like, let someone know that you're a little tired.
Follow Mindy. When I believe you. Like when you have been tired, because all you do is go. And let me say, go, and go, that you have been smart enough to know that when you're too tired to drive or something, that you will pull over and take a nap. Could you imagine? And that's just you in the car at that time.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being responsible for 8 train cars and you're a little sleepy?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So how the CTA makes the schedules for their train operators is they have every 6 to 9 months, they allow the seniority people to pick their schedules. Sure. And if you're not in your senior section, you get put on what's called an extra board. So if someone calls in sick or they need a day off, people are called from the extra board to work. And so that's what happened on this shift. She was on the extra board, was not planning to work this shift. So on the day of the accident, Brittany had one of these extra shifts. She arrived home at 4 a.m. after working, and she claimed that she slept until about 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon before going in her shift that started at 8 p.m. So she's saying she got, about, 4 to, 2?
That's like 10 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah, she's saying she got a good amount of sleep.
8, 9, 10.
Yeah. She said she got a good amount of sleep. When they do investigations for these accidents, they do check operators' cell phones. And at the time of the accident, she wasn't texting. There was no phone data or usage at the time. But they also said that the claim of sleeping was not true. According to the NTSB, she made an outgoing call at 10:45 a.m. She sent a text shortly thereafter, another text at 11:04 a.m., numerous messages until at least 2:30 p.m. that day. So in the time that she said she had slept, it was not necessarily true. She was texting.
So she was tired.
And it's true. At 2:30 p.m., her texting and the cell phone data did stop, but that would only really give her maybe a few hours of sleep before her shift. After
you don't know how fast she falls asleep, if she sleeps soundly.
Oh, no.
Any of that. So even if a few hours and you're in charge of 8 carloads of, not carloads,
50 people,
train cars of people.
Yeah. According to their investigation, she was in good health. She had no medical conditions, normal sleeping usually. She was a low risk for sleep apnea, but overall her health was good. She did tell the investigators that in order to feel rested, she needed between 6 and 8 hours of sleep a night. And it was also came out that the week before the accident, she had worked 55.7 hours, including one double shift.
She was overtired, maybe.
And the day of the accident was her 12th consecutive calendar day she had worked.
Oh, she hadn't had any time off?
12 consecutive days of working. Let's take a second here to be like, who's supervising this? Who approves these, right? Who says, like, yeah, you can pick up extra shift? Sure.
We don't need you to sleep. It's fine.
She also said her commute to work was somewhere between 90 minutes and 2 hours to get to her job. Let's talk about the awful Chicago transit system.
Yeah,
highways and stuff, right?
Shit. And okay, so she's exhausted and she still takes the train for 2 hours and then goes to work. This lady, oh my God, she's exhausted.
And who knows? And I'm not trying to blame her because obviously that was not her intention going into work and falling asleep. But it seems like it should have. There are multiple things that failed in this timeline here.
The safety backups failed.
Allowing people to
times.
work so much. I mean, who knows? Maybe she had to pay bills. Maybe she had to port kids. You trying to do it as a parent or as a person surviving?
But also, it could just be that, yes, she was tired. She's trying to get some extra shifts. It could be the fact that the one safety thing failed. The second safety thing failed. There's a lot of variables in this story.
There is. Now, here's the thing that I also find interesting is, I'd say 6 weeks before this issue, she was given a written warning because she had fallen asleep and failed to properly stop at a station platform.
Jesus
6 weeks
Christ.
Before this
Does
accident.
she have... Okay, but she also has only worked there like 2 months, right? So like a month in...
2 months as being an operator. Yeah.
Okay, so a month in, she gets a warning, and then 2 months in, she has an epic train crash.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And only a few days before, she was written up because she was late for her shift, and she had claimed she had overslept.
Yeah, because she doesn't get any sleep. Wow.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
And luckily no one had died from this, but there are a lot of injuries. According to the CTA, they do not limit overtime employees can take in a given work week. No limit.
Dumb.
So
Dumb. People are tired. You've got people putting their lives on the line to have these people be at full capacity.
Yep. According to the local union for the the Transit Union Local 308, employees could not be assigned to work more than 13 hours straight. However, employees could voluntarily work overtime.
That's a bunch of bullshit. It's like truckers. You could only drive safely so many hours unless they pump you up full of meth and every other bad chemical there is. Like, no. This isn't right.
Now, they are required, if they work 2 8 or 9 hour shifts back to back, like working a double, which, first of all, sounds like not a good idea. They are required to have 8 hours off between their shifts. But even 8 hours, say you drive, so like this conductor here, she
2 hours.
Worked,
drives home 2 hours.
So you drove home,
back 2 hours.
You immediately go to sleep. What? That doesn't seem safe at all. Well, and this is things they investigate. Like I said, they go through your cell phone data to see how much you did sleep. I will post this interesting thing that they actually looked at the last 7 days leading up to the accident and what her duty time was versus her activities at home and when she slept. It doesn't look like
interesting.
She slept enough. That's for sure. On the 23rd, she said, she got home around 4 a.m. She stayed home, slept till about 2 or 3. But again, according to cell phone data, that might not have been the case.
Texting and stuff. Yeah.
And there was multiple times in prior days that she had worked morning shifts and not evening shifts. So her whole circadian rhythm of being asleep was not consistent. You can't go from working a third shift to a first shift to a third shift. Your body will never adjust that way. So that was also determined to be a bad thing. Overall, here's what the NTSB decided was the cause of this accident. They determined that the probable cause of the accident was failure of the train operator to stop the train at the appropriate signal due to falling asleep as the result of fatigue, which was the result of challenges of working shift work, circadian factors, and acute sleep loss resulting from her ineffective off-duty time management.
Whoa.
In addition,
ineffective off-duty time management. That's
like
harsh.
a burn. It is harsh. It is harsh.
Baby, that hurts.
In addition, the CTA failed to effectively manage the operator's work schedule to mitigate the risk of fatigue, contributing to the severity of the accident. And also the failure to identify the insufficient stopping distance and inadequate speed restriction at the center pocket track at O'Hare.
15, not 25.
Yeah. It's a train of things that went wrong, And we just need to bring attention to working and sleeping and how important it is.
Yes, and having shifts and proper rest in between and livable working hours. She was just so overtired that I'm not giving any excuses, but like she was 2 months into this.
It's one of those things. It's trying
terrible.
to make a living.
It's terrible. Yeah, you're trying to do what you can.
The question is, what was recommended as it changed by the NTSB?
Yes.
The CTA downgraded the speed code of that middle track to 15 miles per hour, as it should have been.
That's one.
The train operator, she was removed from her job, and they also had to update their recommendations on sleep being required between shifts. But according to my research, it doesn't seem like that was really... It's not that anything really had come of that, according to what
they're saying that for the press, but they're not enacting it, it sounds like.
No.
Okay.
I mean, and it's such one of those things, especially driving on a track where it's visually repetitive.
Yes.
That should be like one of the most... I mean, there's one thing where there's things changing in front of you all the time. Like if you're a firefighter or a police officer, like
different scenarios.
What's in front of you is changing. But that highway hypnosis that happens, especially
it should be the same on the train. Train hypnosis.
Yeah.
Track hypnosis should
track
be a
hypnosis.
Real thing. I've just discovered it.
And just to wrap up, there were long-lasting effects from this, and like I said earlier, thank goodness there were no fatalities, but that 37-year-old Yolanda Montez, she did file a lawsuit against Cook County, and she was awarded $6.6 million for her injuries, which included a concussion, a level 1 fusion of her neck, level 2 lumbar fusion.
This is the one that hit her head on the bar and then got hit behind too? Oh.
Yeah. She was working at the airport as a bags handler, and she has now permanent lifting restrictions. According to her attorney, she said she made the best out of a bad situation, but unfortunately her dreams of becoming a full-time law enforcement officer were never going to come true. She's satisfied with the outcome, but she put her trust in the jury and it made a fair decision for her.
Wait, she got $6 million?
$6 million, yeah. And there was another TSA employee, Michael Moore, who was on the train at the time, who was awarded $4.1 million. And as a whole, and those 50 passengers that were on board, 33 were injured. I think the lower ends of the lawsuits I saw were $14,000 for someone who had injuries. And that was just the lawsuits were, kind of above $11 million in lawsuits. But even the damages to the terminal and that escalator were $11 million.
Oh,
$11 million in damages to the track, to the train, to the terminal, and the escalator. So, yikes. And that's the story of Train 141, the Chicago O'Hare
thank you for
derailment.
Sharing that. That's insane. Holy moly.
Yeah,
holy moly.
You get on public transportation, a flight, and we've talked about flights before. It's terrifying. Sleep is one of those things that when you're stepping onto
you can't help it.
Transportation, you want people to
be wide awake
rested.
and bushy-tailed. But yeah, you go on public transportation with this sense of trust. Everybody does. So that's what's scary about the situation. Wow, thank you for sharing that.
Terrifying.
Mindy. Terrifying.
So how was your week?
Oh, the week has been good, except for I had a little bit of an accident. I was
Oh, no.
getting ready to feed the cats, and I had like the water running to rinse out their canned food and their lid, but the lid dropped partially in the disposal. Not that I turned the disposal on, but I just reached in because the water was filling up. I reached and grabbed the lid to the cat food, and it just went. Blood was like
Ow.
squirting out. The water that was in the sink was turning pink. I'm like, this can't be good.
Oh,
So
Lord.
I've got like all these paper towels wrapped around my finger, and the cats are all by my feet, like,
We're still hungry.
We don't know what happened. So I'm
They
like
don't
trying
care.
to do everything left-handed. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I got to somehow figure out how to put a Band-Aid. I mean, it was gushing. I thought, oh, God, am I going to
God.
have to get a...
Is
I
your
think it'd be
tetanus
like
shot up
one-
to date?
I think it is, yes. But it would be like one stitch. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep holding pressure on it. It didn't hurt at all. But the next day, it started to like, that throb.
Yeah, hurt like a
that
mother.
throbbing.
Yeah.
So I still have this on just because it doesn't hurt. It's not bleeding, but it's still not healed. So there's still exposure. So that was my week. How was yours? It was fun.
Remember we had that episode called Unwanted Crotch Passenger where bees flying into my car? It happened again. It happened again yesterday. All of a sudden, I look to my right and there is a bee like in my car. I'm going 55 miles an hour. And I'm like, shit.
He's just hanging out. He's just chilling.
No, he's getting close. And so here I am. I'm going, there's nowhere to pull over. I'm like in farm fields. There's nowhere. There's a car behind me. I take off my shoe, my tennis shoe at that. I take off my tennis shoe and I'm like swatting at it, hoping not to like cause any more driving distraction, I guess.
But how distracted were you when you had to reach down and take off your shoe?
I think it was more distracting to make sure it was not going to attack me.
Okay, got it.
I had to incapacitate it with my shoe, Brooke.
Of course, I understand
Just
completely.
incapacitate him to the point of not being able to sting me.
I got it.
So there was that. Yep, just another unwanted crotch passenger. And
Another unwanted crotch passenger. I can't even take it.
I took care of it. But other than that, we are preparing for our Taylor Swift concert in a couple weeks here.
Oh my God, are you so excited? Do you have everything
So
planned?
excited.
You're driving, right?
We're driving. We have costumes. We're working on costumes. So I just got this really very cool, like, bejeweled bustier, I guess I'm going to call it.
I love it.
Because I am the Midnight's era. So I've got this really, I'll send you a picture, and these like little hot pants.
I need to see this immediately. Oh, and hot pants.
So we're working on costumes. We got to work on some friendship bracelets. So
do they all have like their favorite era? Like, so are there all different costumes? No one's wearing the same thing.
Exactly. The youngest is going as like her debut album. So she's got a cute little like frilly dress.
The debut? She's the youngest. Okay.
Yeah. She's the youngest. So she's going as debut. She's got a cute little like frilly country dress, some boots, a cowboy hat, like very cool. The youngest twin is going as Reputation. So she's got like a black sparkly top, some it looks like newspaper print skirt, like a little cute thing, some black boots. The oldest twin is Lover, so she's got this. It's like a frilly tulle top that we're gonna dye pink.
I love this. You're the
and then
best
the oldest
mom ever
is doing Speak Now, so she's got like this cute little sparkly purple romper. So, and then I'm Midnight, so
all very high waisted. I assume everything's very high waisted.
I'm going high waist. I gotta cover up everything that's not super thin anymore after 4 kids.
Did they all have these parts of their costume, or did you help them? Like,
oh yeah, Mama had to pay.
I was gonna say Mama had to pay.
This is their Christmas gift. So the tickets themselves for the concert
from last year, right?
Yeah, 2022 Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, it's all included in the 2022
so their
Christmas present.
included us the trip, the hotel, the food, the costumes.
You're amazing.
Outfits. So it'll be fun.
Costumes.
So we're just
I'm so happy for you. That's
some
so
final touches on that.
exciting.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's much more exciting than anything I have going on. So yay. We'll want to hear all about it.
Absolutely. I will definitely give you guys updates. But that's coming up the first weekend of May. Yay.
First weekend of May. Yay. You're a poet and you don't know it. Yay, May.
Oh, yay, May. All right, Bestie, that wraps up another episode. Thank you for sharing your time with us. And do us one favor and share this podcast with a friend. That's how we grow. That's how we keep doing each episode, is because we know you guys are sharing and we see more people tuning in. So we appreciate that.
Yes.
Make sure you tell your best friend about the show. If you haven't done that yet, reach out to your favorite inmate. Tell your favorite omelet maker. Omelets.
Sign me up.
And tell your favorite true crime friend about the show. Because you know what? We find that people who love true crime also love dreams. You know, that person that listens to the same true crime podcast? Yeah, it's all wild. Just tell them. Make sure you let them know about the show. And that's how we grow. And we appreciate each of you for doing that for us. So thank you. Mwah, much love.
And thank you again to David for your dream. Crazy, crazy prison dream, warning dream. And as Mindy said, thank you to all our catnap submissions. We have so much fun with whatever you have for us.
Always fun.
Always.
Hey, Bestie. Bestie, be sure to do us one favor. Get some sleep, especially if your job involves transporting innocent people from point A to point B. Get some sleep. And
yes, please.
Until next week,
sweet dreams, bitches. Love it. Love you. Love everything about it.
Love it. Love. Love you more.
No, you don't. You couldn't possibly.